Police is saying, a number of different law enforcement officials.
Police
I don't want to
is
say,
saying?
let's back up. What's the best way to say?
Police are saying.
Groups are saying.
Yeah.
Law enforcement is saying. I don't even know who's
People
saying
are
it, to be
saying.
honest. What's that, Natan?
People are saying.
Sometimes people have said that U.S. law should require logs of text messages to be kept by wireless providers. A variety of police groups like this idea. CNET is reporting about this. Now, what would happen under this legislation? The companies like AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, other wireless providers would be required to capture and store your text messages, which some people consider to be confidential, according to a proposal that's going to a congressional panel today. And the proposal, which comes from law enforcement, would require the storage of text messages similar to the controversial idea of surreptitiously recording audio of their customers' phone calls in the event that police decide in the future, at some point in the future, that they need those records. They need to see what text messages were sent. Now, the argument that is being made is, listen, billions of text messages are sent every day. Some absolutely will contain key evidence about criminal activity. In some cases, evidence is lost because these messages are not stored by the wireless carriers. This could be anything from evidence of stalking, weapons trafficking, domestic violence, any number of things. So if law enforcement has access to this information, and there's a number of groups, including the Major City Chiefs Police Association, the National District Attorneys Association, the National Sheriffs Association, all of these groups want this to happen, that it could somehow help to prosecute crime in the future. So the obvious questions are, number one, is this a violation of the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure? What about that? That's question number one. And question number two is, would your behavior be different if you knew this? Or, I mean, I already assume that everything I text and everything I email could, if it came down to it, be obtainable by law enforcement. That doesn't make it right. That's just the assumption I'm operating under.
From what I understand, companies basically already store these messages, right?
For some time, but not for the years that is being requested here.
Okay, so I can't imagine this would fly, but at the same time, if they're already allowed to keep them for a certain amount of time.
Well, let's be clear. Verizon does for up to 5 days. This is according to a Freedom of Information Act request from a few years ago. AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint don't store the content of text messages. They do store metadata that says who are you texting and when, but not the content. That's what they say. Verizon for 5 days. Virgin Mobile, 90 days. And carriers usually keep the metadata for up to a year and a half. So, I don't know what's going to happen legally here. Natan, do you think this is going to end up being a constitutional thing, or will it fall under Patriot Act type of stuff?
It may. It'll probably go to the courts. I'm just wondering, like, imagine if normal snail mail letters were copied by the post office and kept indefinitely in their records so that police, when they have a warrant to search for it, can just review all letters that were ever sent starting from a certain date. How is that really any different than this?
And the reaction to that would be way different, wouldn't it, Louis?
Of course, and you know, Natan is right. They're the exact same thing. It's just another example of legislation falling way behind the technology.
Absolutely. Let's take a break. DavidPakman.com/spring13 gets you a free David Pakman Show t-shirt like the one Louis is wearing with a yearly membership subscription. DavidPakman.com/spring13. We will come back. I have a story that is very good news, a positive news story to tell you about. Stay with us.
The David Pakman Show at DavidPakman.com.